Hello guys, so welcome to my channel Elite French Academy. So today we are going to be talking about how to speak French actually. But the basic knowledge we are going to start from is alphabets in French. So now the first thing that we have to know is that French has alphabets. Okay, for you to be able to understand French, for you to be able to speak French as a good Frenchie, you have to be able to analyze some critical aspects in those alphabets. So here are the alphabets, and they are also the same in English. So there's the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We are going to know how to pronounce those alphabets. So let's start with this, okay? So number one, A, B, C, D, E, F, J, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So I'll repeat for those who are not able to catch up, okay? So number one is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, Y, X, Y, and Z. So now, in this pronunciation of French, there are some cheat codes. There are some cheat words that everybody, most people who tend to want to learn French have difficulty in pronouncing. And these are the G and the J. Why am I saying it? Because in English, as being written in the board, the G is being pronounced for the J in French. For example, when you are pronouncing this letter G, if you are pronouncing it in French, the G is for the J. So let's say you are saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which is in English. But when you are pronouncing it in English, for the French, it's your J in French. So what am I trying to say? It's just vice versa in the sense that pronouncing the J is for the G in French, and pronouncing the G in English is for the J in French. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So with that being said, there's one aspect again which is called the letter E. And the letter E is being pronounced with the E sound. And why? Because there are some things that people need to understand is that there's this word they call accent aigu. Every accent in French has name, and there's the accent aigu. There's the accent circonflexe. There's the accent tréma. There's the accent cédille. Okay, so the accent aigu is when the accent arrow is coming this side. So why am I writing this? For those who are finding it difficult to pronounce it, is that when you are pronouncing the accent aigu and with the letter E sound in French, they are both similar, but they differ. But the accent aigu, which is this, shows how the letter is being pronounced. Do you understand? So with that being said, this is how to pronounce the alphabet in French. But I want you guys to know something, and the important thing to know is that French has 6 consonant sounds. Okay, one of the consonant sound in French, one of the consonant sound in French is A, E, I, O, U. And there's one called Y. These are the 6 consonant sounds in French. Normally, we all know that in English we have 5, but in French basically have 6. But when it comes Those consonant sounds are also known as what does it call it? Vowel. Those consonant sounds. Let's not use consonant sound, okay? Because there's some things that are complicated, but let me just break it down. So these are the vowel. Okay, these are the vowel. And French has 6 vowel. The R, E, I, O, O, and there is the Y, which stands as the other vowel. But there's another vowel in French, but which is not being mentioned, and which is the H. But this H has a silent vowel, which is not pronounced. Like for example, this l'hôpital, l'hôpital, or let's say l'hôtel, l'hôtel. When you are pronouncing this, you find out that the H letter is being silent. Only what you hear is just as if you are pronouncing the L-O. But meanwhile, if you tend to make the H not silent, it will be l'hôpital. But because the H is being silent, you don't hear the H, you just hear the l'hôpital. Do you understand? But now, in the consonant sound in French, we have about 20 consonant sound in French. But that's not where I'm going to get to. So with that being said, I hope you are able to understand that pronunciation in alphabets in French, it actually differs. Because as I told you guys in the lesson that I'm just saying, is that if you are pronouncing this, the G, letter G, and letter J, in English it's the same. But in French, it differs. Why? Because if you pronounce G in English, in French it means J. And if you pronounce J in English, in French it means G. So with that being said, I hope you'll be able to understand the alphabet. So now with that, I'm going to teach you guys how to spell in French the words, how to make numbers. So numbers in French, let me write it down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just for clarification. Okay, so then I will stop in 20, and then I will teach you guys how to make those words as numbers. So 11, 12, 13, 13. When you are starting, it's pronounced like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's not set. A lot of people mistake when they are pronouncing this number 7, because if you are pronouncing it in English, it's as if you are spelling the word S-E-T. But meanwhile, the correct spelling is S-P-T. So for those who want to be able to pronounce the number 7, you have to be able to pronounce set in English. So if you can pronounce set in English, it's like saying 7 in French. But bear in mind that the spelling is S-P-T. But it's just to facilitate your pronunciation. Do you understand? So with that being said, 8, 9, this is an F, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now I want to teach you guys on how to make numbers in French, and that's very important. So the key word I'm going to bring is this. I'm going to add some, make it a bit spicy. Mille, million, that's 60, 100,000. 100 mil, that's 100,000. So now how are we going to make this as words? Use an example, 156. Good. If you want to be able to translate this word in French, the best thing for you to do is to use it in English first. So what am I going to say? 156. Okay, now I already know that it's 156, but how am I going to put this number into French? 100, which is this, is 100. You are done. But then you are not yet done. This and, which is in French, eliminate it. Okay, so 156. Now, how can you know this? Before going further, let me start from 20. Since I've done 20, let me use 30. 30 is 30. Okay, 40. 40. Okay, 50. Okay, which is 50. 50. 60. 60. 70. Okay, that's 70. 80. That's 80. 90. That's 90. And 100. That's 100. But now let's get to this. Okay, 156. You know this is second. So this is 100. So now to add the seconds, the right word, second, that's 50. But you are not done. You have to add the 6. So now when you are spelling in French, from 50, from 10, let's say from 20 to 60, you just add the numbers, which are this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you stop here to 9. Why? Because when it comes to 70 and 90, what you do, example now, I'm not done with this, example, 70. If you know what to now say 71, you do 60 ohms, and this ohms, which is the 1 of this 71, is 11. So what am I trying to say? If you are trying to spell from 70 and 90, you use the 1, that's the 71, 72, 73, 74. You use from 11 to 19 for the 70 and for the 90. But when it comes to 20 and 60, you use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So now let's start from where we stopped. 156. 100, 6, and that's all. Okay, let's use a complex number. How are we using 1000? So 189,894. Okay, this. In this set, how am I going to translate it? I'm going to do like this. I'll write 1000, 1,800, and what? 94. This is it, 1,894. Remember I said that this and, you neglect it. Okay, so it's being pronounced this way now. It's going to be mil. Why mil? Because you are pronouncing starting with 1000. And when you are starting with 1000, it is mil. So 1000 is mil. Then 800